Is your inner child screaming to be heard? Do you feel your childhood was stolen from you, as if you had to grow up way too fast? Hi, my name is Kathy Jackson. I'm an intuitive healer and a spiritual guide, and I wanted to talk about inner child healing today. We hear a lot about it, and I wanted to kind of address what that means and why is it so important. So, if you think back to your childhood, I think most of us have felt that perhaps love or safety or even validation was either conditional or missing entirely. I know in my childhood, I felt kind of insignificant because a lot of times it was not okay to have feelings. Let's just put it that way. And I always said that my father was kind of just emotionally absent or unavailable. So what that does is it goes into, what you needed as a child, that love, that safety, that validation was not there. It wasn't present. And I remember too that I didn't really get praised as a child. I never really felt like I was acknowledged or praised or, made to feel important. And so that translates into adulthood, because those unmet needs are actually still with you. So you're still seeking that love, validation, acknowledgement, acceptance in your relationships. So a lot of these things, when we're children, get stored into our energetic and our physical body, and then on top of all of the unmet needs, then there's the traumas, the things that actually did hurt us, whether it was physical or psychological or emotional. And trust me, the psychological and emotional is just as bad as the physical, sometimes even worse, because it's unseen. It hurts you, it causes damage, it causes pain, but it's never really addressed. And so a lot of times we got messages, especially boys, oh, stop crying, be a man, or, boys don't cry, that kind of stuff, which, suppresses those needs, those emotions. So if it's never fully expressed, it's stored. It's stored in your body. So that energy's still there. So the reason why it's really important to look at these things is because we're going to attract to us situations and relationships that will mirror that. And what I mean by that is, if you are seeking validation, for instance, you may get into relationships and not get fully seen and heard, and your needs aren't really met. And so, these patterns can affect you in not having really healthy relationships. And then also you tend to put other people's needs ahead of your own, and tend to be a people pleaser. And so all of this, really can be worked on. And how do you connect with your inner child? So that's another thing that people wonder, how do I connect with that inner child? So if you think about the needs that you had as a child, think about how you can, as an adult now, give your inner child those things. And instead of looking outside of yourself for that love and validation, it is important to validate yourself and look for your own acceptance and your own validation. So your inner child still wonders, is love conditional? Is it always I have to perform, or I have to be useful, or I have to be a certain way in order to receive love? And those are conditions, and it keeps you in a state of disempowerment, really, in a way where you are putting other people ahead of you. And so it's important to acknowledge these needs and these feelings and do the inner child work. And it is possible to give your inner child the love and acceptance that it needs. Because really the goal is to become whole. And another person can't do that for us. It's our job to come into wholeness within ourselves. And some of the ways that we can do that too is, looking back at what was our childhood dream. What did we think we were going to do when we grew up? What was going to be something that we really looked forward to. I know for me it was art. I really enjoyed drawing, and later on I did start painting. In fact, here's one of my paintings here. And that's a great way to express yourself and to get some of those emotions out. In fact, this painting really illustrates how I experienced a lot of heartbreak in my life because of this inner child wound. And this just illustrates how, out of a cracked open heart, seeds of truth can grow into beautiful blossoms. And so that was one of the things that came through that wanted to be expressed through me. And so I am an artist, and I look forward to creating more art as time goes on. But so it's those things that kind of feed your soul, feed your inner child. But so I think that's all that I wanted to talk about today. There's one other thing. This unfinished, like if you're had traumas in a childhood, it gets stored in your body and it affects your nervous system. So it may cause you to be more reactive. It can cause tension in the body, So it's important because it affects us. It affects our relationships. It affects our physical well-being, our mental well-being. Anyways, this is my message for today, and hope you enjoyed it. And feel free to reach out. Please like and share my videos, and I'll link my my website and things in the comments or below this video. So please subscribe, and I will talk to you again another day about another subject. Have a good day.